Hey everyone, I am back with another fantastic author to recommend to you. But we're going a little different this time. We're going away from witches and dragons and into the world of the Fae. So
Yay.
I, I have with me here Kay L Moody, who is another fantastic author, but she writes in the Fae and she sells her books from her own store. So double whammy for all of you that love supporting authors directly. So Kay, how about you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Okay. I am a young adult fantasy author. I don't know what to say.
How about, well, let's here,
I
let's
love
keep
the
it.
color pink. Yay, that's a fun fact about me. Very
Oh, that's
intense
awesome.
about it.
I know it's awkward talking about yourself. So here I'm going to show you guys her store. So in the YouTube comments and on the email that I send, there's going to be a link to this. You can go to is it klmoody.com / shop, right? That's
Shop. Mhm.
okay. Or you can go to etsy.com and type in KL Moody. But these are her books on her Etsy store. She even has like official swag. You can buy all four. I found Kay on Pinterest actually. You had like a compilation of books that I fell into the rabbit hole of your Pinterest account. And I ordered this book right here, The Court of Bitter Thorn. She sent it right to me, and I've been reading it and I love it. So I'm not like big into the world of the Fae, but Alora, your main character, it is Alora, right?
Yes.
Okay. Alora reminds me so much of my Bianca. She's a little bit younger than Bianca, but she has like just as much zip in her. So all of my Bianca and Sana fans are going to really love Alora. She loves to sword fight. She craves adventure. She's about to get married to this kind of gross guy because her parents need her to, and then disaster strikes. And of course, a prince of fairy shows up as they do on her doorstep, right? So
Exactly.
I don't have a lot of experience in the world of the Fae, but this was a really fun like trip there. So I showed it to some of my readers on my Coffee with Katie call, and they're really excited about it. I'm going to be sending my copy of paperback to Diane so that she can read it, and then she's going to send it to another reader. So we're going to like share your book all around our group. But I wanted all of you to see her shop because look, you can get swag with, are those stickers and bookmarks?
They're all bookmarks. So the little baby ones are magnetic bookmarks.
Oh, how
And
fun
they're
is
so cute.
those are so cute. My readers were just asking for those. So there you go, readers. You can have those. And your covers are epic. They actually look really similar to my Network Saga covers. So
Oh,
everything about this just made me excited for my readers, and I wanted them to see your shop and meet you today. So I am curious, why write about the Fae? Like, what is it about the Fae that you're like, I better write some really kick-ass novels about these?
so I feel like the Fae trend definitely started with the Cruel Prince series by Holly Black. That was uh, Fae has been around way before that. All right. She did not invent the Fae or anything. I mean, actually, for people who don't know, these are like real folk tales that have been around for centuries. Okay. So some people get really fussy about, like, oh, you stole this idea from Sarah J. Maas and her Court of Thorns and Roses. I just said my title. Court of Thorns and Roses series, No, sorry. Sarah J. Maas used this folklore that has already been around, which is awesome that she did that. And I don't know, it's just really fun. They're very similar to humans in a lot of ways. So it's like it feels they're not so different, but they're also like just enough different that it's kind of fun. And they have all these rules, which not all authors do everything with the Fae rules, but I did in my world. Like, it's impossible for the Fae to lie. They cannot say an untruth. So it's kind of like, how does their world work because of that? And like bargains and vows are all really important things. And I did this really weird thing in my world where in fairy time doesn't exist. And it's one of those things I just really like doing things that are different and challenging to me as an author. And it's always like, oh, this would be really cool. What would it be like if there's no time? And then I started writing it. And I'm like, this is hard. So
Oh
it's
no.
I like challenging myself, and then I always kind of regret it a little bit, but it was really fun to kind of imagine what would it be like if it would just not a thing with fairy. There definitely with the fae, there are all these stories about how time is different in fairy than it is in the real world. Most people know Rip Van Winkle.
Mhm.
So he fell asleep for 40 years and even though he didn't age, everything else aged, you know. So kind of stories like that where
Yeah.
time is different in fairies. So I kind of played around with that a little bit.
Well, and
So
you
I
have
don't know, I just liked the folklore.
it's really fun folklore, and it's different than what I usually have for my readers, which is more along the dragon witch end of the magic spectrum. So you have like this huge spectrum of magic, right? And there's all these different like folklore and creatures and whatever, and you kind of get these Tolkien-esque stuff, like medieval sort of fantasy, which is what I write. And then there's like the Fae, which is its own thing, like you said, with rules, which is what's so fun about the Court of Bitter Thorn. Also, you have sort of an enemies to lovers romance line, which is something my readers
Yes.
love. So for my readers, if you loved Isadora and Max, you will probably get into Brannick and Alora. So Prince Brannick is the Fae, and he is such a stinky curmudgeon at first. Like at first I'm
Yes.
like, you are a total jerk. And I'm like so angry for Alora, but then Alora, like he kind of starts warming up and you're learning the rules of the Fae and why he is the way he is, kind of like my readers do in Flame, Flight, and Freedom from the Dragon Master trilogy. So for my readers that loved Sana and Maximilian, or Isidore and Maximilian, then I think you're gonna kind of dive into Alora and Brannick as well. It's really fun. And I'm glad that you said the rules of the Fae, because I've read another Logan Miel. She writes Fae books I have read before that I liked, and I think you two are like most of the Fae that I've read. But there was similar structure to it. Oh, it's my phone. There's similar structure to it. So I was wondering, like, it sounds like there's kind of some rules that you go off of here, and I think we like that as readers sometimes when we kind of know, well, fairies can't do that, or Fae can't do that, or whatever. And I think it's fun that you kind of stuck to that, but made it your own with the time thing.
Mhm.
It's really cool.
Well, thank you.
So where would you like people to pick up like an ebook copy? Is Amazon the best place for them to buy, since paperback can come from your shop?
Yeah, Amazon's great. I do have my book is available on all retailers. So you can get it from Amazon, Apple Books, Barnes and Noble, Google Play, Kobo, all of those. But Amazon's great too, if that's where you get your books.
As long as, yeah, if they can get it anywhere, that helps. I've got a lot of Kobo readers and know
Mhm.
people and that kind of stuff. That's perfect. Awesome. And then is it available in audio?
It is, yes. This series is my only series available in audio, and it's also available on all retailers.
Cool.
Also Overdrive, if you use Overdrive. So
Or a lot of my readers or my listeners do Overdrive. So for my audiobook people, you've got your marching orders. Go get The Court of Bitter Thorn. My paperback lovers, you have her Etsy shop, and then ebook, of course, you guys can go get it anywhere else. And after you read it, like post in the group and we can pull Kay into the group and she can chat with you guys or answer any questions about the Fae, because it's not the world that we usually live in, which is really exciting. All right. Well, thanks for coming, Kate. It was awesome to have you and talking
yeah,
about
thanks for
it.
having me.
And everyone go buy a copy of her book and then let us know what you thought.
Perfect.
Bye.
Bye.